The kingdom is the awareness of the Creator in all things. Here are some of the best quotes that summarize Paul Selig's channeled book, The Book of Mastery. Everything you see was created, and that includes the beings you see before you. If you could see them as we see them, you would be stunned at the veracity of love that exists within each man, even if she is not awakened to it. This is a beautiful quote, showing that if we saw each other person we encounter as the guides do, and the guides are what Paul Selig channels, we would see the truth and the stunning amount of love within them. We'd be overwhelmed by the level of love and light that is within each person. And to perceive it, we just need to choose to perceive it and focus on the perfection within each other person. You do not do it. It is done through you. The divine operates as and through you. You are not pulling the strings on the machine that would enlighten you. This alludes to the theme that is found amongst all spiritual masters, which is surrender. The idea that the ego or the personality or the persona or the mask, the thing we mistakenly self-identify as, doesn't do the work. It doesn't do the enlightening. We surrender. Surrender is a theme that comes up again and again. We need to let go and let the truth that we are work through us. The true self, Christ, the Buddha nature, God, Goddess, whatever you wish to call it. That foundational love vibration that is the essence of everything. It does the work. It expresses through us. So all we need to do is surrender and get out of our own way so that it may work through us. Why are we separate? You are not separate. You have never been separate, but you have called into manifestation separation through the denial of your own true worth. When we experience separation, it's not the truth. It is our own dream that has been cast over the truth. The responsibility of the individual self to align her own will to her divine self must be chosen for it to be in merit. Nobody comes to the father or to the mother unless they claim it and say, "Here I am." This comes with time and with an agreement that the divine self as you is the heir to the kingdom, not the personality self. This is an idea that comes up frequently in Paul Selig's channeled books. It's that the small self, the personality self, the ego, doesn't enter the kingdom. And what is the kingdom? As that previous quote shared, it's the awareness of the Creator in all things. So it is your true self that enters the kingdom. So you surrender, in a way, die that ego self, let it go so that you become your true self. And then you realize you've never left the kingdom. You've never left this foundational vibration of love. A violent shift in the consciousness of the species. Why violent? When someone has taken a drug that has kept them in a deep sleep, and a sleep so deep that a whisper in the ear will not awaken the rester, that the awakening must come with a violent shake, you will comprehend that for many who are in deep unconscious ways reinforce the need for separation and claiming it into being, they will require something large to call them into the awareness of the foolishness of their actions. Others of you have incarnated at this time to shepherd the way for others. This is interesting, the need for a violent shift. Violence enough to shake awake the ones that are so fully asleep. They're in such deep sleep. They need something jarring to the system to make them realize, whoa, this can't be what is real. This must be a dream. This is getting too crazy. As you are always an expression, you are always a teacher. The child at school learns far more through the feelings she has around a teacher than the words on the blackboard. You are always teaching your fellows. The energy field you hold is a teacher in another way. As you show another in your auric field that you can be done at this level, that you can be in response at this level of frequency, you actually show them on a level of congruence and expression that it may be acclimated to. So your very presence becomes a manifestation, the thing that will support them in lifting their own fields. You may share the work, but the language there is only to support the vibration. This is another idea that comes up frequently in Paul Selig's books. It's not so much that you teach others through your words, it's really by your vibration that you hold, the frequency that you hold to. That is the greatest teacher. That's what people respond to. They see what is possible. They feel your frequency. You set the example. As the saying goes, actions speak louder than words, and in this case, your vibration speaks louder than words. This is a discipline. This is not an easy teaching. It's an alignment, and the maintaining of alignment is an action you must choose. As we have all said in the past, you are all radios playing a broadcast. If you wish to change your broadcast, simply do it and change your mind. Your mind, in many ways, is what calls the broadcast into manifestation. There's a need for discipline. There's a need for constantly choosing the alignment you wish to maintain. And as he shares here, as the guides share, it's not an easy teaching. You must stay focused on what you want. Have your attention on it. Have your intention be that to maintain that alignment. The eyes of the Christ are lifting the vibration of all that they see, and that includes what you might have damned prior to this teaching. When you see with the eyes of Christ, you are attending to the world before you in its divine potential. You are lifting them to the vision of the Creator. Your perception is important. That's what brings it forth. The Creator, the Christ, is inherent within everything, but to bring it forth, you must acknowledge it and perceive it. Seeing it allows that to come forth. It welcomes it and invites it to come forth in expression. And by you perceiving it, you lift it to that vibration, to that frequency. So it is important to behold the Christ, the Creator, the one true self, love within everything. Because what you see is what you become, and what you see is what you bring forth in your experience. To be a master means to change matter through your own conscious manifestation and expression, and it is done every day by each one of you, and you don't even know it. The small self cannot figure it out. She cannot know herself at this level of vibration. The divine self as you will be the one who gifts you with what you require to claim the consistency of the act of knowing. And it cannot be figured out mentally. The small self, the ego, the personality, it can't be figured out. The truth will never be figured out logically. You must surrender to it. You are already it. There's nothing really to figure out. It's just a letting go and aligning to that truth of what you are. The requirement for change at this level of incarnation is to bless all that you see. Hear these words. What you bless, you lift. What you damn, you cast out. When you lift something to the light, you give it the opportunity to heal. When you cast something into the darkness, you actually give it power. Blessing all that you see, even when it disguises itself in great fear, will support you in aligning to the light that will dispel the darkness. Bless all that you see. This is the same idea presented previously in that other quote. You need to perceive the good, God within everything. That's what lifts it. That's what brings it forth. You must bless all that you see, even the thing that is disguised, as this quote says, in its fear, disguised as something bad. You must bless it. It's that same idea of Christ, the Christ consciousness, right? Forgive your enemies. To anoint something in God, to perceive it in its worth, regardless of what it presents, will shift you to the awareness of the divine in all things. When one man or woman makes the decree, I am here in the full awareness of who and what he is, the planet you exist in will be completely transformed. Once the template is made fully realized, the emanation of that one being will cascade, will fill brilliance across the planes of knowing, and all you that reach above will be called to it. It only takes one you see in full recreation for the species itself to acclimate to its new potentiality. There will not be only one, there will be many. Once you reach a quota of awakened souls who hold this light and fullness, the broadcast that might be played by all the radios there are may lift this plane to its highest potential. This is that same idea of the 100th monkey. So there's enough people that reach a level of frequency, it helps the whole planet transform. And in this quote it says even one can do it, but that there won't be one, there will be many. It makes it easier for everyone else to reach that, which is very encouraging, right? It's very hopeful. We are all one. So when one chooses and becomes the enlightened self, true self, the Christ consciousness, it helps everyone else. You're not alone in this. It helps everyone else awaken, because your vibration, that frequency sets the example, and everyone then sees that potential and then can reach for it easier because they see it's possible. This book, the Book of Mastery, as all Paul Selig's books, is amazing. I highly recommend it. There's a link to it in the description. Thank you.